So we have our salt, our oil, and our beans that we cooked ourselves. Believe it or not, this is all you really need to make refried beans. Yes, it will be so much better if your refried beans has spices and onions and garlic and such, but you can make a very, very simple, minimal refried beans with just these ingredients. So I just have my oil heating on medium high-ish heat, and this is just a large non-stick skillet. It was really cheap. You can get these at a thrift store for like $1 or $2, so very cheap all the way around to make. I'm just getting the oil hot, and I have pre-measured this is about 3/4 cup of beans. I'm making just one serving right now. You can totally make a big batch of this if you want, but I'm gonna be honest, I prefer my refried beans with onions and garlic and spices and stuff like that, so the rest of the beans I'm going to cook up that way. I just want to show you all that, yes, you can make it with just oil and salt and beans and nothing else. I'm doing this for you, internet. Anyway, in with the beans. Now, I saved all this cooking liquid that looks gross, but I saved it because when you make your refried beans, you usually want a little bit of liquid in there. And sometimes you have to add a little more liquid to make it the right consistency. So I did about a tablespoon of fat with 3/4 cup of beans. You can adjust your ratios as you want. I feel the same way about refried beans as I do about mashed potatoes, just the more fat in them, the better. And refried beans, actually, they are kind of similar to mashed potatoes. But really, it takes hardly any time at all. I honestly don't understand why people buy refried beans in a can. It's like, even if you're starting with canned beans, it's only like one very small, easy extra step to just make refried beans yourself, and they taste a lot better. And to make them from dried beans, it's just another couple extra steps after that. Which, granted, it takes some foresight. And then the consistency to which you mash your refried beans is also up to you. I'm going to add some salt. And again, these would be better if you had more spices to put in there. Even like a little garlic powder if you don't have fresh garlic. A little chili powder, a little cumin, a little coriander. These beans are already cooked. You're not really cooking them here. You're just combining them with the fat and getting them to a nice starchy consistency. And that's basically it. That's like really poor man's simplified refried beans. Again, this is not the best refried beans that you could make, but it is a refried beans that you could make that is extremely cheap and actually rather healthy.
So, or you could upgrade your refried beans for about probably 10 to 15 cents more per serving. We have about 3 cloves of garlic, a small onion diced, the beans, and this is a spice blend. There's coriander, cumin, black pepper, and chili powder. About 2 teaspoons of each. And here's salt. I'm just keeping it in a mason jar. And this is actually rendered pork fat from when I made carnitas. Don't throw your leftover fat away. Save it. It's basically free fat, but you can of course use regular oil as well. This whole pan of beans is about 1,000 calories. It's 2 tablespoons of fat, a small onion, and 3 cups of cooked beans. So this is a good 3 to 4 servings of refried beans. Time to start mashing. So this is actually a pretty good consistency. If you want it a little thinner, you can add some of this juice here. But I happen to have, this is the carnitas juices that were at the bottom of my
mug o' fat. I'm just going to pour those in. It's going to make it taste even more like carnitas. Taste for seasoning. It needs a little more salt. And this is 1/3 of the refried beans for about 350 calories with a tablespoonful of creme fraiche. You could use sour cream, of course. I just happen to have creme fraiche. And a couple hundred calories of Spanish rice that I made a few days ago and some fresh cilantro. So with just a few extra additions like onions and maybe some canned tomato and a little sweet pepper, some spices, it's still a pretty cheap meal. It's still pretty affordable and easily customizable. It can be easily made vegan or vegetarian, or if you are a meat lover and you're wanting to transition to more vegetarian food, you can always sneak some animal fat into your refried beans, sneak some bacon or sausage into your Spanish rice. But yeah, this is an upgraded version.